Have you ever stopped to think that the power to transform your life lies in your mind? Sadhguru reveals that manifesting your desires is possible when we consciously organize our thoughts. But do you really know how to use that power to your advantage? The secret to manifesting what you want might be closer than you think. Want to find out how? When we talk about organizing the mind to manifest desires, it's not just about having positive thoughts or using visualization. The true essence is aligning all parts of your being: mind, body, emotions, and energy. Think of it like tuning a violin. If one string is out of tune, the sound loses its harmony. Similarly, when our minds are scattered between too many thoughts, distractions, and doubts, our ability to manifest weakens. Sadhguru explains that in order to bring our desires to life, we need to be clear and focused. It's not enough to just want something. You need to channel all your inner energy in the same direction. However, achieving that kind of focus isn't easy in today's world. The overload of information, the constant noise of social media, and the pressures of everyday life make our minds feel like a chaotic battlefield. But think about this. When you organize your house, it's easier to find everything, right? The same goes for your mind. If it's cluttered with worries, anxieties, and doubts, it's harder to know where to start. Sadhguru always says that the first step is recognizing this chaos and starting to clean it up, little by little, creating space for your desires to manifest. Meditation is a key practice in this process of alignment. It's not just about relaxation, it's about repositioning your mind's focus. When you meditate, your brain starts to function at a different pace, calmer, more concentrated. If you don't already have a meditation practice, don't overcomplicate it. Start with conscious breathing. Set aside 5 minutes a day to take deep breaths and focus on your breathing. This will help reorganize scattered energy and put your mind in a frequency more in tune with your goals. It's in this calmness that the real magic of manifesting desires starts to happen. Reaching this inner alignment is a process, and Sadhguru reminds us that patience is essential. It's not about trying to control the outside world, but learning to master your own mind. The more you work on this inner control, the more naturally your desires will manifest. Think of each day as an opportunity to fine-tune your focus, clear your mind of distractions, and align your energy with what you truly want to see happen. The beauty of this process is realizing that the power to manifest is already within you, just waiting to be used consciously. Everything we accomplish in life, whether it's in work, relationships, or health, starts as an idea. What many don't realize is that these ideas, those small thoughts passing through the mind, have the power to shape the reality around us. Sadhguru reminds us that by mastering our thoughts, we are literally shaping the outcomes of our lives. The mind works like a fertile field where everything we plant can grow. When we sow clear, focused thoughts and nurture them with persistence, we are preparing the ground to effectively manifest our desires. However, a disorganized mind is like a garden overrun with weeds. No matter how hard you try, the good plants will always struggle to grow. When your mind is full of doubts, fears, and uncertainties, it becomes an obstacle to manifesting any desire. Think about the times when you were about to take an important step but got caught up in thoughts like, "What if I fail?" Or "Maybe this isn't for me." These limiting thoughts act like invisible brakes, keeping you stuck right where you are. Sadhguru emphasizes that to overcome these barriers, you need to cultivate a clear and focused mind, one that can tell the difference between thoughts that push you forward and those that hold you back. And that only comes with constant practice. A powerful way to train this mental clarity is to start using visualization as a daily tool. When you wake up, take a few minutes to close your eyes and visualize your desires as if they were already real. Picture the details. How would you feel when you reach that goal? What would your life look like? By feeding your mind these images, you're programming your subconscious to work towards what you want. Plus, it's important to get rid of those self-sabotaging thoughts that try to undermine your confidence. Every time a negative thought pops up, like, "This is impossible," replace it with, "How can I make this happen?" This simple mindset shift has the power to transform your life, because everything truly starts in the mind. Mental clarity isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for anyone who wants to manifest their desires with precision. Sadhguru often talks about the power of intention, which is amplified when your mind is aligned and free of distractions. Think of it like a laser. Scattered light doesn't do much, but when it's focused into a beam, it can cut through metal. In the same way, a focused mind can overcome any obstacle and turn even the boldest desires into reality. And the good news is, this power is within everyone's reach. You just have to start training your mind, one thought at a time, until the habit of clarity becomes part of who you are. The story of Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree, is a deep metaphor that illustrates the untamed power of the mind when it's not properly guided. The man in the story, after discovering that his desires manifest instantly, begins to create amazing things, until his thoughts of fear and doubt take over, and what was once paradise turns into a nightmare. Sadhguru uses this metaphor to show us that the mind is like this magical tree. It doesn't discriminate between good or bad thoughts. It just manifests whatever you feed it. And this is something many people go through without realizing. Our fears and insecurities, if left unchecked, can take on a life of their own and interfere with the manifestation of our deepest desires. If you've ever experienced a moment of intense anxiety, you might have noticed how negative thoughts start to multiply. A small doubt can quickly grow, creating a spiral of worry that spills over into every part of your life. This is the central lesson of Kalpavriksha. The mind doesn't just manifest what we consciously desire, but also what we fear. Sadhguru highlights the importance of taking control of your thoughts, of being the observer of your mind, much like a guardian tends to a tree. Every thought is a seed, and what you water will grow. What have you been watering lately? Have you been feeding your worries, or are you focusing on your true desires? To apply this wisdom in everyday life, it's essential to build habits that help you manage your thoughts. A simple example would be setting aside a few minutes each day for a gratitude practice. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every day. This practice might seem small, but it works as a way to shift your mind's focus toward what you want to manifest, rather than letting your fears take center stage. Another technique is guided meditation, where you can visualize your desires as if they're already real, training your mind to focus on what you want to attract, not what you're afraid of losing. The lesson of Kalpavriksha is clear. Be mindful of what you're feeding with your thoughts, because the mind, just like the wish-fulfilling tree, will manifest both sweet and bitter fruits depending on where you put your attention. This metaphor challenges us to think about how we're managing our minds on a daily basis. Are we letting automatic thoughts and unconscious fears drive our lives, or are we consciously cultivating what we want to see grow? Sadhguru reminds us that the power to manifest desires is always present, but to use it to our advantage, we need to cultivate constant awareness of the thoughts we allow to grow in our minds. Just like the man in the story, we also have the potential to transform our inner environment, as long as we learn to consciously choose the thoughts we want to see manifest in our reality. Modern life is full of automatic habits, and often we don't even realize that we're acting compulsively. Sadhguru points out that much of what we do each day is done on autopilot, getting up, checking the phone, responding to messages, all without much awareness. This compulsive behavior disconnects us from our true desires and prevents us from manifesting what we really want. When we act without awareness, we're not in control of our choices, leading to frustration and a sense of lacking direction. Compulsive action puts us in a cycle where we're always busy, but rarely making real progress. The solution to this is cultivating conscious action. Sadhguru teaches that by practicing mindfulness, we start making more intentional decisions that align with our desires. For example, instead of reacting impulsively to a stressful situation like a disagreement at work, you can take a moment, breathe, and think about the best response. This not only changes the dynamic of the situation, but also trains your mind to act in line with what truly matters, rather than being swept up by the emotions of the moment. This kind of self-control allows us to manifest desires more clearly and precisely. A practical exercise to break out of this cycle of compulsive actions is to start your day with a simple question: what do I really want to achieve today? By doing this, you begin the day in a state of awareness instead of just going through the motions on autopilot. Throughout the day, take small breaks to reconnect with that intention, like a pause between tasks. Over time, the practice of conscious action becomes a habit, and you'll start to notice that your choices and behaviors are more aligned with your desires, leading to more fulfilling and less impulsive results. Faith is a central theme in many spiritual traditions, and Sadhguru points out that it can be a powerful force for manifesting desires, especially for those with a simple, uncomplicated mind. These individuals, by believing without questioning, don't let negative thoughts interfere with the process of manifestation. However, for many of us, faith alone isn't enough. We live in a world full of distractions and insecurities, where doubt constantly creeps in and throws off our intentions. Sadhguru reminds us that while faith is essential, it needs to be paired with disciplined focus and a clear mental organization. Having faith isn't just about passively believing, but about consciously aligning your mind, emotions, and energy in the same direction. The mind, by its nature, tends to jump from one thought to another, especially when it comes to our deepest desires. Think about someone who wants to succeed in their career. They might have faith in their abilities, but at the same time, they may constantly battle thoughts of doubt, like, what if I fail? Or am I really capable? These thoughts, if left unchecked, act like anchors, holding us back and making it harder to manifest our desires. Sadhguru teaches that manifesting effectively requires more than blind faith. You have to work to remove the mental blocks we create that keep us from our goals. The real power of faith comes when it's paired with a disciplined mind, one that knows what it wants and doesn't get sidetracked by self-sabotaging thoughts. A practical way to strengthen this connection between faith and manifestation is through daily rituals that keep you focused on what really matters. For example, creating the habit of writing daily about your desires, goals, and what you've already achieved reinforces that active faith. Sadhguru also suggests that practicing gratitude can be an important catalyst in this process. By acknowledging what we already have and what we've already manifested, we send a clear message to the mind that we are capable of achieving our desires, which strengthens confidence and gradually eliminates doubt. Additionally, by taking conscious actions, whether big or small, that align with our desires, we further strengthen our faith because results begin to show, confirming that we're on the right path. Faith, focus, and action, when synchronized, form a solid foundation for intentionally and effectively manifesting any desire. Are you ready to apply all this knowledge and start manifesting your desires? The power is already in your hands, but it all depends on how you choose to use it. What have you been doing to align your mind with what you want? Have you stopped to think about how your thoughts might be shaping the reality around you? Now's the time to take control and transform your life from the inside out. How about starting today? Don't waste any more time. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep following content that will help you unlock the full potential of your mind.